Tested! Barnes & Noble's Nook packs a 6-inch e-ink screen and pairs it with a tiny touch-sensitive LCD in an always-connected Android-powered ebook reader that's not only loaded with buzzwords, it's also very reminiscent of the Kindle. The first thing you'll notice is the e-ink screen atop the Nook. E-ink, which uses magnetized microballs floating in fluid to generate text on a reflective paper-like surface, looks a lot like paper. Because it doesn't rely on a backlight, e-ink is easily readable even in the brightest light. This is a double-edged sword, though. Just like a normal dead tree book, you can't read e-ink in the dark. While the refresh rate of an e-ink display is infinitely faster than a piece of paper, it's nowhere near the 60 Hz that we all expect from LCD screens. Complementing the 800 by 600 pixel e-ink screen is a 144 by 480 resolution touchscreen LCD. You can use the touchscreen to navigate menus, change settings, search, and even buy books from the Barnes & Noble store. We were surprised to see that the Nook's touchscreen is slave to the e-ink screen. It only updates when the e-ink updates, so we still found ourselves waiting on the e-ink to refresh frequently. And you'll spend a fair amount of time waiting on that e-ink, especially if you buy books using the on-device store. It typically takes 5 or 6 minutes to drill down to the actual title you're looking for from the home screen to a completed purchase. While you can connect to Barnes & Noble from your PC and order books to be delivered to the Nook the next time it checks in with the mothership, much of the undeniable appeal of a connected e-reader is the, oh, I'll just buy this anywhere I'm connected to AT&T's data network effect. I'm bummed that the touchscreen doesn't help the Nook users avoid the e-ink bottleneck. As for selection, I found a good mix of classics, current releases, and out-of-print favorites in the Nook store. Barnes & Noble also makes a large number of public domain classics available for free, which I like a lot. You can even lend some purchased DRM-protected books you've bought to Nook-owning friends, or anyone who uses the Nook app on their PC, Mac, iPhone, or BlackBerry. I don't know any Nook users, unfortunately, so I tested this with a dummy account. It works, but only with some titles that you've purchased, and only if you have a friend who's also a Nook user. The Nook feels substantial in your hand, weighs about 12 ounces, and I like that the back is slightly concave. It makes it a little more comfortable to hold, even though its bezel is a little thinner than I'd prefer. The Nook is a bit heavier and thicker than the Kindle. I especially like the page-turning buttons. Barnes & Noble perfectly nailed their position with forwards and back buttons on both sides of the device. It's easy to flip back and forth between pages, which you'll do more often than you think. And that's really my biggest problem with the Nook. Even after an update that was purported to improve the device's performance, its e-ink screen is still too slow. While its sleep-to-reading time is on par with the Kindle, its page-turn time lags way behind Amazon's Reader. While it may be fun for some people to figure out exactly how many lines from the end of a page you need to press the page-turn button, we'd rather take the mystery out of it and just make the display more responsive. Some of the actions are so slow that the Nook actually pops up a loading screen to let you know that, yes, something is happening. So, how's the Nook for, reading? It's okay. The screen looks great, the pages turn a little slowly, but even that's only a hassle for the first few hours you use the device. As you catch its rhythm, you'll rarely find yourself missing lines, and it's difficult to argue with the convenience of buy, download, read in less than 10 minutes total. I love that the Nook has broad support for different ebook formats, including EPUB, PDF, and PDB, which you can download from Project Gutenberg as well as many book publishers' promotional sites. The Nook doesn't work with other stores' proprietary DRM schemes, even on supported formats, but that's not a surprise. Nobody does. I had some formatting problems reading downloaded EPUB books on the Nook. They were displaying either without a visible margin or with a too big margin, which made them pretty hard to read. PDF seems to work better, though there is some inconsistency on the font size rendering of all the third-party ebooks we tested. The Nook runs Android, Google's mobile phone OS, and has an active community developing software for it. It's relatively easy to root the device using special software and a micro SD card, and there are a few Nook apps already available, including, you guessed it, a Twitter client. Battery life was disappointing. I got about 4 days use with wireless turned on, and about a week with wireless off, reading an hour or two a day. Part of my battery life problems could be blamed on the ill-designed power switch. It's a push-button momentary switch, which was easy to accidentally press just by tossing it in a bag. It's not a deal breaker, but definitely not the 2 weeks of battery life I've gotten from a Kindle with wireless turned off. If you want to buy an ebook reader today, the Nook and the Kindle are the only real competitors with always-on, wirelessly connected stores. They both cost $259, but between the two, your choice really boils down to two things: performance and file support. The Kindle's faster and has better battery life, but the Nook supports the industry-standard EPUB format and the Kindle doesn't. The Nook isn't our favorite ebook reader, but with improved software and better page-turning performance, it could challenge the Kindle one day.